Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to explore a really profound but also beautifully simple meditation practice from the teacher Nisargadatta Maharaj. What's so interesting about it is that it asks us not to do more, but maybe to do a whole lot less. So let's jump right in with the very first step.
Sound familiar? This is the starting point for pretty much anyone who's ever tried to sit still and meditate. The second you decide to get quiet, your mind just seems to turn up the volume. It's a universal thing. And you know what? According to this practice, it is the perfect place to begin.
So the first phase of this meditation is really just about acknowledging what's already going on. It's about watching the surface of your own mind without jumping in to try and fix it or change it. And here's the core instruction, and it's a bit counterintuitive. Your job isn't to fight off the thoughts or feelings that bubble up. It's not to analyze them or get lost in their little dramas. The whole practice is to just let them be. And why? Well, because reacting, pushing back, that just gives them more energy. When you simply notice them, you allow them to pass all on their own, kind of like clouds drifting across the sky. This brings us to a really important distinction. The goal here, especially at the beginning, isn't to force your mind to be empty or silent. That can feel like a real struggle, right? Instead, it's about cultivating mindfulness, just a total, non-judgmental awareness of what's happening inside you, exactly as it is. Now, once you get comfortable just watching this stream of thoughts without being swept away, something really subtle but powerful starts to happen. You begin to shift your perspective. It's like you go from being an actor in the middle of a chaotic scene to being a member of the audience, just watching it all unfold. See, most of us operate as this superficial person. That's the part of us that's always changing, always reacting, getting all tangled up in our thoughts. We think we are our anxieties, our plans, our memories. But this practice invites us to connect with something deeper, the witness. This is the part of you that is stable, that's always there, and that simply observes everything without getting involved. And what's so key here is that the witness isn't something you have to create or build. It's a state of being that you just discover has been there all along. It's that silent, calm background awareness that's always present, just watching the flow of thoughts and feelings without being carried off by them. That's the whole shift, from identifying with the thoughts to just observing them. All right, this brings us to the absolute heart of the practice, and it's probably the most radical and, honestly, the most challenging instruction of all. It's the practice of literally doing nothing. Just let that sink in for a second. Most of us, when we meditate, we are trying to be quiet. We're putting in all of this effort. But this teaching tells us that the effort itself is the problem. The trying is just another layer of mental noise. The instruction could not be more simple. You aren't asked to achieve some special state, or control your breath, or repeat a mantra. You're just invited to let go of all the doing. And in the absence of all that effort, all that doing, what's left? What remains is simply being. It's a state of pure existence with no agenda and no effort. This quote just captures the paradox perfectly. The moment you turn being quiet into a goal, a task on your to-do list, you've brought striving and effort back into the picture. And that actually takes you further away from the simple state of being you are already in. It's not about achieving quiet. It's about noticing the quiet that's already there, underneath all the noise. So you might be asking, what happens when you actually stop all the doing and just rest in that state of being? Well, according to this teaching, something pretty remarkable happens. Your true nature, it starts to emerge. The process here is totally inward. So, step 1, you turn your attention away from everything happening outside. Step 2, you just become aware of yourself, of that simple background feeling of existence, of I am. And in that space of pure awareness with no distractions or effort, step 3 happens all by itself. What you truly are finally has a chance to reveal itself. And this is just the beautiful culmination of the entire practice. See, self-knowledge isn't something you get by studying or adding more techniques. It's actually a process of subtraction. It comes from stripping away all the effort, all the ideas about who you are, and just resting in your own being. And so we end with this question. When you really let go of the effort, the reactions, the stories, and the identity you think you are, what's left?
This practice suggests that the answer isn't something you find, but something you realize you've been all along.